So this is probably one of the biggest weeks in Spitfire's history, so much so the event on Wednesday, it's Monday today, I'm already nervous, I can feel it in the pit of my stomach, so come Wednesday I'm going to be absolutely shitting myself. The added complication is I'm meant to be going back to Edinburgh tonight, then coming back on Wednesday, and as I described in a previous video, linked below, something happens in this country when this snowflakey... Please. So what are we doing here?
What we're building at the moment is what's kind of usually referred to as a failover or AV rig. A kind of an audio switchover, which Radial kind of own the market for. And then we've got our usual sample rack, 2 Macs at the bottom, and then they each have their own MIDI input and converter output. And then the idea is if we get to a point where we're not happy with the machine that's being used, then we can flick just a couple of switches for audio, MIDI and visuals, and then we're instantly just over to the second machine.
Promised snow, so having to stay in London, and I'm going to be a right pipey because I don't have a change of clothes. I'm going to stink by the time I get on stage on Wednesday.
Wait, you don't have anything?
No! I wasn't expecting to say I don't have a toothbrush.
Do you want a t-shirt?
It will just be a toothbrush. Oh no, I'm so nervous. I might have to go to Margaret Howe tomorrow to get some clothes. Nighty night, see you tomorrow. Good to see you. Thank you very much. Cheers. Keynote. Stuff for my morning ablutions and keynote. So keynote written, I've got to get my mind off it. So what I thought I'd do is have a chat with you guys. This vlog, by the way, is the most amazing therapy. So I've had an idea of what to talk about, which is something I very rarely talk about on this vlog, which is the business and being a businessman. Something I'm not qualified to be, as a lot of the people at work at Spitfire will testify. I don't know how many of you know the Spitfire story, and I won't bore those of you who do with it all over again. But basically, it's something that we set up by mistake. Now that may seem like marketing prattle, but it really is the case. We really just wanted some really good orchestral samples. From what I've observed, there are different stages to a company's development, and it basically, the founders came up with an idea. This was the initial kind of, the spark of this whole enterprise. Then you move up into a startup phase, and someone gave us a really important piece of advice, which was important because it's not that obvious. At startup, you have to stop doing the job that you're doing in order to grow. You get other people to do that whilst you do things like, you know, advise and teach so you could start building the company up. You then enter a growth phase, which is usually when you take on a bit of investment, which we did. We've got a wonderful third partner called Paul Kemp. So as you continue to grow, what tends to happen is you find yourself kind of growing up with the business to the point where suddenly you're no longer able to do that thing that you did that provided the original seed, the original spark. So what's happening is Paul and I are returning to performing the core roles that gave the business value originally. And it's an interesting partnership because in the middle it is ideas and opportunities. So we're in the music industry, we're composers, we meet people, we meet Olafur Arnalds or Hans Zimmer, wonderful collaborators, and we create content wherever possible. Now off to the side, originally Paul basically created the sampling system, how we build these things, how they should behave, and Paul still very much offers valuable advice into the production team about that. Now on the other side, basically I kind of inadvertently created the brand. I had a company called Spitfire that was sitting on the shelf, and because I'm a little bit better at art than Paul is, I did the original packaging. So I'll still be working very closely with the branding people, the marketing. And I guess why this has come up today is I'm on my way into the HQ on a day that I'm not due to be in town. So my diary is completely clear. So I've had to think about, well, what am I going to do today? What do I do in Spitfire? I'm going to create some content. I'm going to talk about a new, amazingly exciting project that just got emailed through this morning. And I'm just going to sit with these brilliant people that I work with, talking about what it is that we do. But because we've still got people who now do stuff better than we ever did, for example, Tom is our kind of company, Joni Ive, who kind of supervises all design and has taken my original humble efforts, say for example with the original Albion packaging, he's taken that to a new level. So whilst Paul and I will continue working with these people, nurturing the original idea, it also means that Paul and I have a little bit of extra time. Now Paul, because he's like this, has taken on a gargantuan challenge that I'm not allowed to tell you about. But what I'm becoming increasingly fascinated with is the community. And I do think that the thing that makes Spitfire unique is a community. Because where there is community, there is strength. And where there's strength, there's opportunity to really change things. To challenge the status quo and to help people not make the same mistakes that kind of my generation did. I also think a good example is, lots of people going, fuck, I don't know what to do. Should I buy this computer or this computer, this iMac Pro issue? I'm in a position where I go, fuck it, I'm going to buy one. And it's not because my opinion is the one that counts. It just enables us to talk about it, to form a consensus and to make the right decision. I should just get a stock of me opening those doors in various different shirt cuffs. Trailer music. Because I didn't prepare for this London sojourn, I've got to get some clothes for the event tomorrow. So I'm going to go to my favourite shop in the world.
Remote. Hello there.
Cut it!
Big caveat is when you receive it, you can't post it or show it to people outside the building or leave it anywhere public until after the event tomorrow, okay? But what they'll hand to you now is the first Spitfire book,
Yay!
which they knocked together in quite tremendous speed. So they'll hand that out now, and it's the Hands in the Strings. Anything else to say? Maybe model it?
Yeah, it's really great. But the little Easter egg as well is the ratio of the book is the same as the collapsed GUI view. So it's...
Trailer. Have you tested the switch yet, Harry?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and it works first time, which is nice.
Good.
Well, as well because we're going to have cameras on it. You need to open it.
I think it's going to be a late one tonight. Trailer done. Ooh. Can't carry my beer and camera. Everyone pumped?
Yes!
See you in the morrow.
See you tomorrow.
Take care. Good luck, Oliver.
Thank you.
Cheers, pal. To say I'm nervous would be an understatement. But I think by this point, we've probably revealed to you what this big day is all about. And what's been quite fun about this process is for a lot of the time, we've actually been kind of hiding in plain sight. To have employed 344 musicians, the amount of time we had to book out Air Studios, and the number of people who have been involved. 30 odd people designing the GUI, with countless people coding, loads of editors. That this hasn't leaked out is nothing short of amazing. And I've really, really enjoyed this one with VI Control, which is a kind of our birthplace. It's a forum, and it can be quite grumpy sometimes. And some of the predictions about what we're going to release today, what's going to be announced, have been, there was a thread at one point where I've bought Air Studios, which is like, I have to talk to my wife about that. So it also snowed last night and all over the country, so as per my prediction, the entire UK has come to a grinding halt. So I'm just going to get up as close to Air Studios as possible.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh wow. That is beautiful.
Don't forget to smell them.
Got to smell it, Paul. Oh yeah. She looks pretty in the snow.
Well, I used to have. I remember 2 hands in a row. I was working. Like,
Hi.
oh God.
Into the streams on the big screen.
Fucking hell. Hello. Who would have thunk then, Paul? It's a bit mad. I remember the last time it snowed. Was that Albion 3? We were worried about Chimbasso players and loads of cellos and basses.
Yes.
It's kind of funny because Albion 3 is a proto
Test drive.
test drive.
For this.
Test drive how to spend money really rapidly.
It feels like, yeah, that's what's bringing this up.
Don't mess about. Paul and I are getting refreshment, but we do stand the chance of not being available for the keynote because we've slipped over. We're getting to that age now, mate.
Yeah.
There's a Royal Free up there, though. They can fix it. Yeah, broken hips. Chin chin. Oh no, you might want to put some tonic in there. Chin chin, mate. Good luck tonight.
Yeah.
Cheers. Cheers. Oh, I didn't like that building. It's so beautiful. Yeah. Got our little wristbands. Look at that. Insane.
Insane.
I was going to do some idiot cards, but well, the snow didn't detract anyone. So Paul and I, quick slug of wine and a quick rehearsal, yeah? All dressed now? Oh, they didn't warn us about... You didn't warn us about that noise. That is the most terrifying noise for a musician known to man.
Sorry about that.
Right, I'm going to put my camera down and go and speak to those people out there. What a night. I have an exceptional hangover today, but it's a happy hangover, not one of those Orwellian I did a bad thing ones. It was a really good thing. The team, the Spitfire team, the work they put into last night is absolutely incredible, but also it was such a good turnout considering the snow chaos that's happening in this country at the moment. So absolutely brilliant. I got up on stage and I'm so bad at public speaking. I wanted to have the mother of all panic attacks, full-on imposter syndrome with these greats that were assembled, these amazing musicians behind me. But I just remember saying to myself, this is your job now, so just get on with your job. You're representing the efforts of hundreds, so do them proud. The minute Paul got on stage there, I just wanted to urinate with relief. My sleeper was cancelled last night, which is why I'm back at the Dorset Square Hotel, and I'm having real difficulty getting back to Edinburgh. So many flights have been cancelled. So I've managed to get on a 4:15 from Stansted on SleazyJet. But when I get back home, I'm going to take 2 weeks off work to hang out with the kids and to mess around in my man cave. Thanks so much for the people who came last night. Thanks so much for the people who watched online and for all of your words of encouragement this morning. I'm going to go and have a massive fuck off English. Giraffe, 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 giraffe.